Hey there, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. So we're looking at positioning this week at DTL, and today specifically we're going to look at positioning at the net when you are playing singles. A little bit of a comparison here to when you're positioning at the baseline in singles. And a lot of times I just feel like singles players think, okay, I got to be in the center of the court at all times. And honestly, the only time that I think that's perfectly appropriate, similar to the baseline, is when the opponent himself is standing right in the center of the court. All right, again, the angle ability from my opponent out of the center is not great, so being in the center helps me cover pretty much all of his shots. Now, where the lateral positioning at the net changes compared to the baseline is once our opponent moves outside the middle. So we're going to take Mark to an extreme here. Mark, yeah, pretty far out wide. In singles at the baseline, we talked about actually going opposite side. Now in net play, when I'm playing singles, I actually need to start shading over to the side that my opponent is on. And a lot of you have probably heard, hey, you're supposed to follow the ball at the net. And that is appropriate. I just want to make it really clear exactly how far to follow. So from that spot, if Mark hits a ball down the line and, holds the court, where it crosses, let's say it's there, right? He didn't actually hit the line, but he's super close. And then he goes ahead, you got another ball, Mark? He goes cross court here, and we're looking again, not at where the ball lands, because we're taking it out of the air. We're looking at where it crosses. And that ball would have been, I think, about there, okay? So my job as a good net player in singles is to position about halfway between those two tennis balls. And let's be honest, if your opponent hits a great angle or a perfect up the line ball, those go for winners. So this is not 100% foolproof that you're getting your racket on everything. But as you can see between those two balls, if I'm in the very center of the court straddling the line, I'm leaving Mark way too much room to comfortably hit up the line. What we want that opponent feeling is that the line is a little bit nerve-wracking. So what I'll do is shade over a little bit. Now I feel like I've got an equal distance here. If I step out to cover that ball, if I'm within a step or two of that ball, I'm good. All right, and the same thing here. I start there, shift over, get out there. I'm covering the highest percentage of tennis court to be able to get my racket on the ball. All right, so and that would be obviously the same if Mark moves across the other side of the court. Now his down the line, I've got to move myself into this half slightly to be able to cover that down the line and to come back and be able to cut off that cross-court ball. So that, in a sense, yes, I'm following the tennis ball, but you've got to make sure you know where that 50-50 point is. Don't feel like you have to go to a spot where you can absolutely cover the up the line or absolutely cover the cross-court. You're just trying to leave yourself the best kind of spot possible to cover the most amount of shots, all right? Now, in terms of vertical positioning, moving up and back, this is where the club player a lot of times gets sucked in to moving a little too far vertically into the court. As we all know, if the ball was put right on my racket, Mark, go ahead and hit me an easy one. The worst tennis player in the world can pull that shot off. But the ball doesn't come like that very often. So to me, in my book, getting too close to the net vertically on a consistent basis is really bad. And even at my height, Mark would have a very easy time lobbing me. Now, with that being said, if I play too far back, if I'm consistently on the service line or a little behind thinking, okay, I'm a little afraid of getting, the ball drilled at me or whatever, I want more space to cover the court. I want a little more time. That's a lot of you out there just, all right, if I'm farther back, I got more time to see his shot. Mark can now hit the ball down at my feet. Go ahead and just dip one, Mark. Okay, that's an uncomfortable volley. And there's just so much more court that I can't reach out and cover. So I feel like it's slightly gray area, but I think a few steps inside the service line, and if you're super skilled, super talented player covering the lob, go ahead and maybe give yourself one more step forward. You just have to caution because, if I hit a decent volley, put Mark in trouble, he goes and stabs at a ball in singles, the lob comes so often. So a lot of times, even at my height, if I hit the volley that I want, get Mark in trouble, I'll actually pull off a step or two so that I can, really guarantee that I've got a nice look at an overhead and I didn't overclose going, oh, he's in trouble, I'll go get my sitter, and he just pops it over my head. So just a nice little window, few steps inside the service line to maybe the halfway point if you've got great, vertical movement back on the lob, that would be fine. I think the real key idea is that lateral positioning, making sure to cover about halfway between where his ball is going to cross the net in those extreme positions so you get your racket on the most amount of volleys possible. All right? And that's all I got for you today. Hope that was super helpful. Please click like below this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. As well as check down below me in the description of this video. You'll find the link to 3 free courses Mark and I have put together. I think you'll find those really helpful as well. All right, so until next time, be well. We'll see you soon at Daily Tennis Lesson.